Hey everyone, I'm Zach Tucker here in Poptown. We are at Reagan High School getting you ready for week 3 action of the high school football season. This week's Carolina Classic Fair Friday Night Rivals Game of the Week presented by West Shore Home features Reagan and Grimsley. Let's go ahead and head inside the headset with both coaches. All right, well, joining us now here at Reagan High School, we've got Coach McGee. Coach, thanks so much for taking the time out to meet with us today and just kind of give us an overview of where your team's at in the season and your thoughts overall.
Yeah, so going into week 3, 0-2 is not where you want to be. But when we set this schedule last year, it was by design and it was intentional. We started our year at Marvin Ridge against one of the best offenses and quarterbacks that we're going to see all year long. When you go back and look, we had quite a few drop balls, missed throws that could have changed the outcome of that one. And then week 2, we scheduled Mooresville, which will be one of the best defensive units that we'll see all year long. And played 14-13, made the decision to go for 2 to win the game, and just didn't work out for us. And then week 3, you schedule Grimsley, which is kind of a best of both worlds. And all 3 of these games are games that we did intentionally to get us ready for CPC play.
For those who are watching this and might not be familiar with your program, who are some of the playmakers on your team?
I think we've got a lot of really good football players. If you want to talk about guys that get most of the notoriety and publicity, I think you start with Landon Callahan, our senior defensive back who's committed to Duke. Tremendous person, tremendous player. Stephon Scales is playing our other corner position, and I think both of those guys, really balance each other out really well. Offensively, we're young. We have a sophomore quarterback, Jacob Smith, sophomore running back, and Jalen Moore. We're starting 3 sophomore offensive linemen. Our wide receiver core, Cassidy Harvin and William Tapp, are our 2 seniors there. So, a young group. Our kicker, Ryder Lawson, has had a phenomenal start to the season, as well as Aaron Gutierrez in our punt game. So we feel really good about kind of all 3 phases and the direction that we're going.
Do you guys have any motto or any slogan to help provide some inspiration on the field?
Every year we change it up. This year it's take the stairs, and it just simply means that, there's no shortcuts to success. It's never going to be easy. You can't jump on the elevator and get to the top. You got to work your butt off every day. And, we again, going into this season with a young and inexperienced group, we knew that taking the stairs was going to be our best mantra. And our guys, again, work every single day to get better, and they're definitely doing that.
And speaking of taking the stairs, here at Reagan, you guys walk down the hill for your entrance into the stadium before every home game. What's that like?
Obviously, I'm going to be biased, but I think it's one of the best entrances that you'll see. And, it's just something that I think has become who we are and people know about. When you think about Reagan, you think about the cool little entrance. It's really fun to go down it. I hate at halftime you got to go up it. That's pretty tough. But, at the end of the day, going down a hill doesn't help you win any games. It just helps kind of create a cool environment.
Tonight's game, we've got a good battle between 2 4A schools. Grimsley's a pretty tough opponent. Played in the 4A state championship game last year. What can you tell us about the Whirlies and what are some of the keys to the game tonight?
Yeah, it's a really good football program. Coach Brown and his staff have done a great job for a long time. And, we want to play great teams here at Reagan. I think if you play these teams now, it really helps prepare you for what's next, whether it's your conference play or hopefully getting into the playoffs. Division I talent across the board, whether it's on offense, defense, extremely talented group. But we play these guys really well each year. And 2 years ago we played them here and we're up 12-0 at halftime and lost 21-19. Last year we're up 34-33 with about 2 minutes to go in the game, and they scored on us to beat us late. So they've been really competitive games. But again, a tremendous football team with tremendous players, tremendous coaching staff. We certainly have our hands full.
Going off of that, as you just mentioned, the last 2 times that you guys have played against Grimsley, you had 2 very close games, but unfortunately for you guys, fell on the short end of the stick there. But do you think that those outcomes will have a factor in the game tonight?
I don't know. This is 2023. We don't have the guys we had last year. They're missing some guys from last year, so you can't really go off of what's happened in the past. And it's all about kind of how you perform and how you play in the moment. And we always feel that if we do the little things well, we take care of the football, we tackle, we run to the ball, we always give ourselves a chance to win.
What's your biggest message to all the Raiders fans out there?
Stay positive. We've created a culture here where I think people expect for us to win. And when you start 0-2, it's disappointing, and it's disappointing for a lot of people. But we have a young group that fights hard every day. They come to practice every day with a great attitude. We are seeing the improvement from week 1 to week 2, and we're just excited for this journey. Our fans are excited. You know, it's always a great environment here, and so we're just excited to get this season moving along and the success is going to come.
All right, well, thanks again, Coach McGee, for your time. Good luck tonight and good luck the rest of the way this season. Now let's go ahead and check in with Coach Brown over at Grimsley. All right, well, joining us now, we have Coach Brown here at Grimsley High School. Coach Brown, thanks so much for joining us today. Before we talk about this year's team, let's take a step back and reflect on what happened last year. You guys had a heck of a run, made it all the way to the 4A state championship game. What was that whole experience like and having the community behind you guys?
The playoff run was awesome. You know, playing here in Jameson all 5 weeks leading up to the state championship was a lot of fun. Our community, our students really showed out during that time, and our kids played really hard against some really good teams, and we had a lot of exciting games. So last year was a great moment for us and that team, and come up a little bit short, but we had nothing to be disappointed about. We had an outstanding year, and we're just looking to build on that this season.
And you guys returned a few of those core playmakers from last year's team to this year's squad. Has that kind of helped things going all the way through the offseason up until now?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, Alex Taylor and Terrell Anderson, to name a couple of guys that have played in a lot of big games for us, made big plays in big moments. So having those two guys back as leaders for us is huge. We returned 3 starters on the offensive line and then some defensive guys that saw quite a few plays last year as well. So we always count on those guys, and we've had a tough schedule to start out with this year, so we rely on them heavily.
Tell us a little bit about some of the playmakers on your team this year.
Yeah, well, I mentioned a couple of them, Alex and Terrell. You know, everybody knows about those two guys on the outside. And then offensively, Mitchell Summers at running back from last year where he rushed for over 2,000 yards. So it's nice having him back. And then a young guy at quarterback, Faison Brandon, who has the ability to make a lot of big-time plays, and he's off to a good start. We returned Jeremiah Deese in the slot, who started every game last year as a wide receiver as well. And we got some other young guys that's filling in nice that we're doing a lot of good things for us at tight end and the other receiving position. 3 offensive linemen that are back from last year's team. And then defensively, I think our deepest group's our defensive line. Andre Hill, Bryce Davis, to name a few guys that played quite a few snaps last year. And then our linebacker crew has some seniors in it, Tobin Dunning, JT Simmons, Jason Mabry, and they've been playing well early on. And on the back end, we got some experience there as well with Jamari Davis and Dion McLaughlin and Fred Sellers. So we got a few guys, obviously, that have played a lot of big games for us, but every year is different, and we're just counting on them guys really to lead us.
And looking back at your schedule from the past couple of years, you guys haven't actually lost a game in the regular season since 2019. How have you guys been able to maintain that success? Well,
I mean, every year is different. We don't really talk about the past or anything like that. We're just focused on this group, and we do that every year. So I think just the fact that we've stayed consistent with our approach, and our kids are hungry to kind of leave their mark. You know, this is this year's team, and what we do this year will be their legacy and what they're remembered for, and not the fact that they were a part of last year or anything like that. So we just really stay in the moment, focused on the present, and trying to be the best we can be each and every day. And I know people say that, but it's really true, and that's kind of what our coaching staff and our players believe in and have bought into.
Would you say that's more of like a motto or slogan to help you guys provide some inspiration on the field this year?
Yeah, I mean, and again, I mean, it's just who we are. You know, we don't really talk about it a lot. It's just, you know, being the best we can be week to week, day to day, and you know, got a big game with Reagan this week, and we didn't talk about Reagan until Monday. You know, so it's just being present in the moment, not really, you know, worried about what we did in the past or what's coming. We're just trying to be the best we can be right now. So I think our coaching staff does a good job relaying that message to our players.
And as you just mentioned, a big game against Reagan tonight, kind of a clash between some local 4A teams. So tell us a little bit about the Raiders and some of the keys to the matchup.
Yeah, a really good football team, well coached. We've played them the last couple of years, so I have great respect for them. We've scrimmaged them before that, the years prior to us playing, but got a lot of skill at skill level at their positions, especially at quarterback and running back and some of the receivers. So it's going to take us being very disciplined, take us playing hard. There's a great environment over there. Their student section's always a big group, and they pack it out, and their people come out and watch and support their team really well. And it's a tough place to play, and we've had 2 really good games with them the last couple of years, and I expect nothing different tonight.
As you just mentioned, you guys have played them pretty close the past couple of times and come out on top each of those previous games. Does that give you a little bit of a confidence boost heading into tonight?
No, because like I mentioned before, what was done in the past is, in the past. So every year is different. We got to take care of our job tonight and make sure that we're doing what we're supposed to do. And if we do that, we'll be okay. But our guys, like I said, several of them have been in some big time games, and they draw from that to where the moment is not too big for them, and they stay poised and stay composed. And if we get down, they don't let it affect them. They just continue to battle and continue to listen to our staff and what they ask, and just keep playing hard. And then at the end, we always believe we're going to find a way.
It is week 3 this week, and you guys still have a long way to go this season, but what is your biggest message to all the Whirlies fans out there?
Well, it's a great group to come and watch, so we want them out to support us and make sure they're there every Friday night. And our kids play really hard, and I think they play discipline, and I think they play for one another. And so I think we do a great job of hopefully representing our school and our community, and we love it when our alumni and what we call Whirly Nation's out supporting us. And I feel like our community and our alumni and our students do a great job of that. So there's nothing like playing here and playing in front of our fans, and we're excited about the year.
All right, well, thanks so much, Coach Brown, and good luck tonight and good luck the rest of the way this season. Thanks so much for tuning in to our Inside the Headset segment. For more updates and related content, subscribe to the ABC 45 YouTube page.